Okay, ex-Illuminati member speaking. Uh, Let me just get down to it. So I just vibed in on some deep concentration, and I kind of figured out what's going on today. And the reason they're moving everybody underground is because they're gonna self-eliminate themselves on the face of the earth. What do I mean by self-eliminate? They're gonna eliminate humans on the top of the soil in order for them to go underground and wait until the top of the soil is back normal again. There are only going to be a selected few chosen to go underground. And that's what they were taught. See, it's all a mind game. It's about who can figure out the answers, who can figure out the answers to restart with everything that they need to make a more perfect world. See, humans are only here to build enough that's sustainable. See, there's a form of utopia already going on without us even understanding it. See, if God wanted us to be here and create the world the way we would imagine it for Him, wouldn't there be less people? And if there were less people, there would be more operators. Do you know what an operator is? An operator to operate machines. Machines are going to take the humans' jobs. This is what's happening. The machines are taking the humans' jobs, limiting, limiting, limiting the use of humans. Now I'm telling you some deep stuff right now, and I'm pretty sure that I'm right. I say I'm right because all the homeless, those are all the ones that are not going to be saved. All the people who are just subjects are not going to be saved. You're going to have a royal standing. You're going to have to be somebody important in order to be saved. Or you got to be somebody like me who knows and who will put them out there for doing what they're doing. See, I'm going to earn my way into existence. I've already done it. I've already done it by figuring it out. See, it's beyond this because some people are unconscious, some people are conscious. People who are unconscious are being used as tools. See, in order for them to create God as a whole, there only has to be a certain couple of people who understand what's going on, and those are the people who are in power. I'm not talking about the people who are the puppets. I'm talking about the people who are in power. And the ones who are in power are the ones that we do dealings with that we're not supposed to be doing dealings with because they understand what they're doing to us. They understand that behind everything an alien objective is in standing. We want to project the utopia. We want to project the utopian idea to the aliens. Peace. To show that's what the Creator was about. But you have to understand, in order for you to create a utopia, you have to have enough of people to build it. That's the process that we're in now. We're in the process of building a utopia. All the slums, all that stuff is just going to go back into Mother Earth. It's going to be destroyed. See, they're going to go for the most casualties. They're not going to go for the most. See, only a certain amount of people are going to be in a certain amount of places. Word to reflection. Certain amount of people are only going to be certain amount of places. What's that mean? There's only going to be a certain amount of places that are going to be safe on the world. There's only a certain amount. And right now I live in Costa Rica. We don't have an army. I wonder why we don't have an army. I think that because they want to build it here. They want to build it here, where everything is safe. Word to self, where everything is safe. We don't have an army. We don't have an army. We don't need an army. We got all the army we need. We got the higher powers. These people understand that they're speaking to God. These know how to manipulate how God works. Just to get enough. Just to get enough. See, but now I'm here. Now a real Illuminati member is here. And I'm going to find out how to help them. I know how to help myself. I know how to help myself. Just keep thinking. Keep thinking of the answers. Because I know when I go to meet God, I'm going to try and find out everything. That's because I want to know everything. I want to know everything about what's going on spiritually, unconsciously, and extraterrestrially. I want to know what's going on so I can figure it out. So I can figure out how to become one of them without having to change. So they can accept me the way I am. Because I got a brain. And I'm using it. See? That's the difference between a lot of people. A lot of people have brains, but they don't know how to use their brain. Use your brain. Exercise it like a muscle. Exercise it. Find reason within it. See what the answer is. You're a humanly God, and you were created that way. You were created to be a human God, and you didn't even know it. How are you going to worship God for Him giving you such godly attributes? You tell me how you're going to do it. How are you going to do it? Are you just going to think about it? Are you going to sit here and do what I'm doing? Talking about it? Or what are you going to do? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do that you've got a God in you and you don't even know it? The existence of God, we created the existence of God. God was one of us. God was one of us at one time. Now He's here. He passed His physical level. And He's seeing how many more else can do it because there's a lot more places He can be. See, God just doesn't have to be here. God can be everywhere else. God can be everywhere else. This is what you have to understand. God has to explore His own creation in order to find out what He even created. It was very broad when He created. He's trying to find out what all He created. See? This is what happens when you come into a minute, an infant stage of. See, we have a small brain. Well, Kami. That's my name, Kami. I would think that the aliens have big brains. This is what I think. I think aliens have big brains. I think they have bigger brains than us for a reason. Because this was one of God's first creations. See, God wanted to create them with the brain superficient enough to understand where He came from and to be wise enough to find out where He came from. See, we have a small brain. Our brain is small. We're a later creation. We were created by God, some of God's first creations, to see if we could find God. Experiments. This is all experiments being placed on us. See, it says that we have a 99 or something, some type of percentage of our DNA is part rat. It's part rat. What do we use rats in? Lab experiments. Why would they pick our DNA to be similar as rats? To conduct experiments. See, this is the unconscious part of it. When you think about it, an experiment to make something sweeter. Okay, how do we make something sweeter? How do we make something sweeter? We man make something sweeter than that. Chemical induction. Chemical induction into the lab rat agenda. The less you want to do with chemicals, the farther you will go. See, chemicals interact with our bodies of foreign makings. They're not natural. They're not natural. They might say that they have natural things, but they're not natural. They are not natural. So what happens when you take a natural thing that we were naturally born with and you induce it with foreign chemicals? How do you know, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen when you introduce foreign chemicals? Now let's break down the word chemicals. What is a chemical? A chemical is a substance that enhances or dehances something. Dehances. I'm using words that aren't even in the dictionary. Dehances. Because if you have enhance, there must be a de-enhance. Or I just said it, to de-enhance. What is to de-enhance? To de-engineer. To re-engineer. They're re-engineering natural things to make it better or worse. See, it's not about knowing what you're doing and knowing not what you're doing. Knowing not what you're doing. Knowing not what you're doing. Do you see how God speaks through me? Knowing not what you're doing. Knowing not, to not know what you're doing. See, there are conscious people and unconscious people. The unconscious people don't know what they're doing with God within them. They're just living. They're just living as God, doing what God wants in that point in time with them. See, you have to understand God has a purpose for everything. And my purpose is to let the truth be known. See, a purpose is in order for you to fulfill something. It's my job to fulfill this. I'm sitting here talking about this because I believe it's important. Because I understand I'm an ex-Illuminati member. Because I learned it. I learned it through my own experience. I learned what the Illuminati was. And the Illuminati is a collective. See, some people are aware who the Illuminati is and who isn't. You can tell by the music they listen to who the Illuminati is. Because so many people want to become part of them. Because of what they're doing. They're trying to find God through vibration. See, God is a vibration. God is a vibration emitted. And the way you get rid of, see, the Illuminati's whole thing is to eliminate speech and create vibrations with voice. See, we understand language, but we don't understand vibration. If you talk about music and you're speaking about rhymes and stuff like this through music, see, those are vibrations. There's certain things, there's certain vibrations, there's certain collective of vibrations that tap into people. See, we just have a very minute understanding about what vibrations are. We like music. Why do we like music? Why does the human race like music? Because it's a vibration that gives off pleasure. See, God is an all-emitting pleasure. This is what that is. There's a vibration within you that makes you feel undoubted pleasure. Undoubted pleasure. There's a vibration within our bodies that we can get to that gives us undoubted pleasure, and we just have to get there doing what we like to do. What do we like to do? What do we like to do as humans? What do we like to do? We like to listen to music. We like to enjoy ourselves. We like to have fun because this was heaven at one time. This was heaven at one time. This can be an ultimate heaven for humans. See, God gave us a thing. He said heaven and hell are mind states. Heaven and hell. You can be in your own heaven and you can be in your own hell. How is that possible? Because of what you see. What you see. See God in the Bible is so deep that how could you have heaven and hell in the same place? Because of what you're seeing. Everything is not, see, you can even find some parts of hell in heaven with deception, with women. See, it's called the counterbalance. What is heaven? What could heaven be? Tell me, what could heaven be? It's not anywhere else. I just told you what heaven was. It's a mindset. So what could heaven be? Through the power of sight. See, because if it's a mind state, what is the reason that it's a mind state? Why can't you make it real? See, God gave us the ability to create our reality. That's the science fact. We create our reality. So if you have a number of people who are thinking about the same object and the same goal through a consensus of unconscious thinking, ultimately you will get there. Ultimately. Until, see, this is what, see, because we're so bored, we look at the stars. This is how bored the human race is. We're so bored, we look at the stars, and we can't even get there yet. Do you see how slow, do you see how far behind we are? This is why we need help. This is why we need help. This is why these foreign entities are here, to help us understand, to get us going. Because they can even calculate when our earth is in, and they want to see us live. They want to see us remember. They want to start an original history, an arc of sorts. And they will help us get there, but we have to understand that God, see, the earliest creations will be pleasured to know that there is a creation of minute form that has still been able to find God and still been able to subside his creation of death. See, we only die because of our environment, the environment we're in. If we can build a perfect environment, we will live forever. What's the perfect environment? What is the perfect environment? What is the perfect environment? See, we still don't even know. This is how slow we are on ourselves. What is the perfect environment? I can think of a million ways how to collectively make our bodies and things naturally. They're finding all types of things. And I'm sure right now, as a scientist, if I was educated enough, I would be able to speak about everything and how it's supposed to happen. You see? I can think about it. I can think about it. I have the power to think about it. I have the power to try and create a plausible solution for the world. I have. Let me tell you about one thing. Clear drinking water. What's the best filtration system in the world? The most powerful thing in the world? The sun. The sun can filter water. How can it do that? How can it do that? And we need chemicals to filter water. Why wouldn't we just use the most abundant resource to filter water? See, and my page is starting to burn because I'm sitting here at this desk because, let me see how much charge there is. There should be enough charge. Let me see, this should be enough. But see, I'm smoking a cigarette inside because I have to charge these machines. And you see how bright it is out here? How bright this is? Where you could barely see my face. The sun's not even out. The sun's not even out. This is how much energy I'm emitting to myself. The sun is not even out. Now it's out, but you should see me. You should see me. This is how much sun. This is how much rays I'm emitting. Look at how I'm standing under. I'm standing under something, and look at this. I'm emitting rays that they can connect with. Look at this. This is unbelievable. Let me try and get the rays around. Let me try and get them. I can't even get them away from me. I have to go back inside. I have to go back inside a man-made thing to keep the rays of God away from me. Do you see that? It's not even that sunny outside. It's not, I swear to God, it's not even that sunny outside. There's clouds in the sky. That's how deep this is. That's how deep about what I'm talking about is. There's rays that emit around me that to my eyes aren't even there. See, how is this possible? How is this possible? Tell me, how is this possible? I walk right in here, and the rays, they should sit, now they're coming back because now I'm standing halfway and halfway in. What is the problem? How are there rays coming through there? How are there rays coming through there? That's solid. I can't see them. I can't see the rays, but what are they doing? They're letting you know that everything that I'm telling you is the truth. The Illuminati member has spoken. You can't even see my face anymore. This is not any type of anything. The one man has spoken. The one man has spoken to you all, and here it is, right on YouTube. I could step into the sun now, because it really doesn't matter, because I'm illumified. I'm illumified. I'm illumified. Illumified. I've already been inducted, illumified. I've inducted myself into the Illuminati. That's how that happens. You induct yourself into the Illuminati. You don't look for an induction. You induct yourself with knowledge. And with this being my proof, because it's going to be on the internet. An ex-Illuminati member, I said at the first one. Because it's X. Generation X. Ex-Illuminati member. X. The last. The last one. See, there's not supposed to be any more Illuminati because we're already here to get here. This is what we do. This is what we do. You see how my head is formed? I have 2 marks on my head. I have one right here, and I have one right here. I've been getting cut across my third eye my whole life. I have the scars to show it. I have the scars. I have the scars to show it. And then there's another one right there, if you can see it. See? When I was a kid, I ran into the middle of a door. Why would I have run into the middle of the door? Like Harry Potter. The kid with the scars across in the middle of his forehead. I have scars across the middle of my forehead. I have them. I have them as proof in my life. Like Harry Potter said. He has to lift his hair up. So do I. I have to lift my hair up in order for you to see it. There's a scar here. I got hit in my head when I was in prison. In a fight. And I was bleeding. I saw my own blood. I was in prison on earth. And that's where I learned all of my mastery at. That was the real school. That was the school of thought. That was the school of overcoming. And you see, God comes back just in time for me to download this on the YouTube.